Welcome over to Automotive World, everyone. I am your host, Vinay Mystery, and we are back. We have some really big sales news coming out of Kia. We have two really promising results for Kia, both on the internal combustion side and on the EV side, because for the month of April, Kia delivered its second highest first quarter sales in company history for Kia America. And in that same month of April, they also delivered their all-time best EV sales for Kia America in the month of April as well. So both of these articles are going to have the same sales figures here. We're going to get into both of them and do a little bit of a deep dive. But this is a really good thing for Kia across the entire board here. We're going to start off here with one of the biggest headlines here, especially with how prominent that the Tesla is being featured right now, and especially how prominent just EVs are kind of just sort of stabilizing. You could almost say flatlining. The demand is just going down right now. Kia with their EV9, which is this big SUV right here, essentially the electric Telluride, has year-to-date 144% increase year over year. The Sorento as well also increased for April 2023 for year to date. That is a 24% increase. And SUVs accounted for 81% of Kia's US sales. So 81% of all sales. That's internal combustion and electric. So Kia is still doing pretty well compared to others in the sedan market, but 81%, I mean, that is the majority. I mean, it's even for a brand like Kia that sells a ton of, sedans still, we can clearly see that sedan market is going down. So let's start on in with our deep dive. Some of the things to note with the deep dive, for best ever for April, 3 Kia utility vehicles were on that list. So 3 of their SUV-based vehicles, being the Carnival, essentially that's a van, it's their van, but it's on the SUV platform. The Telluride, which those things just fly off dealer lots, and the Sportage as well saw huge increases. For the Carnival, we saw an 18% jump. The Telluride saw a 5% jump, and the Sportage saw a 2% jump. And that is for this month of April. That is compared to 2023 to 2024. We also saw sales in the EV6 grew 65% year over year, while the new Sorento is up 24%. And the ICE version, the internal combustion, the Forte, rest in peace the Forte, coming out to the K4. This one is a bit of an anomaly because obviously that vehicle is being, succeeded by the new K4. The Forte nameplate is going away and being retired, but the Forte on its way out saw an 11% gain year over year. Really strong results here from Kia, and we have numbers right here. So the EV9, brand new model, didn't sell any in 2023. To start off in 2024 with a little bit over 1,500, when the EV6 for the month of April sold 2,000. That is a super strong result. Super strong result. Kia is one of the few manufacturers where, even though their EVs are obviously very low sellers and very low volume still right now, they are showing a lot of promise, and they're one of the few manufacturers still showing growth in the EV space when other EV manufacturers are struggling. So EV9, month of 2024, a little bit over 1,500. Obviously, like I said, it's a brand new vehicle. Year to date, they're already at almost 6,000. They're about 5,579 compared to year to date right now for EV6, which is at a little bit over 6,000. That is a super strong result. Super strong result. I mean, you honestly cannot ask for a better start, especially when the EV6 has already been out for a year. And we still have strong results for the EV6. I mean, selling just a little bit over 2,000. And in the month of April in 2023, they sold about a little bit over 1,200. So still a huge growth there, close to about 1,000 units in growth. You could say roughly around 700 to 800. And even year-to-date sales, we see they sold in 2023 4,633. And in 2024, they sold over 6,000 vehicles. And the year still isn't over yet. We're just in May. So these are super strong results for their EV models, which is something, like I said, it's really uncommon in the industry. For the Rio, rest in peace. We know the average car price in America is about in the mid 40s, about 45 to 48. With the Rio, it's just, we know this car is on the way out. This car also recently, being, one of the, the lower end Kias, one of the ones you could, jumpstart with the flash drive and all that. This car has just been receiving a lot of bad press, and cheap cars unfortunately just are on the way out, and especially it just being a sedan as well. Like I said, 81% of Kia's sales were all SUVs. So I mean, the Rio is just rest in peace. So is the Forte as well. The Forte has had super strong numbers as well for the month of April compared to 2023 and 2024, selling about over 11,000 last year. This year, close to about 12,500, and even a jump from 2023 to 2024 of over 4,000, almost 5,000 units actually. But obviously, like I said, that is going to be replaced by the new K4. So it'll be interesting to see with the K4 how the sales numbers are for that. But rest in peace to the Forte. It's a bit of a bittersweet ending because we do have a replacement for it. But like I said, it's a little bit bittersweet. For the K5, this one is also a bit of an anomaly as well. We have to keep in mind the K5 did just get the new 2025 model. That is going to start shipping to dealer lots soon. The reason this number is so low is because right now, we are waiting for those 2025 units to hit the lots. If you look at most Kia dealers in your area and the surrounding areas, most dealers don't even have any 2024 K5s. I found out of the 10 dealers in my area, one had a 2024 Kia K5. So the numbers for these are down in the month of April, but this is a bit of an anomaly because the new 2025 model is out. We're just waiting for it to hit those dealer lots. And so these numbers here, especially for the year to date, they're going to suffer a little bit just because of the launch that it's having right now. I do believe it's still, they still sell usually, this is a big seller for Kia, so I do believe they can easily recover these numbers from year to date. But this is a bit of an anomaly just because, like I said, we are waiting for those 2025 units to hit dealer lots, and there's just not many 2024 units left. For the Stinger, rest in peace for the Stinger. This was one of my favorite cars. They sold just a little bit under 1,000 last year in the month of April. This year, obviously, the Kia Stinger was, it was discontinued. We didn't get any. It's a zero there. In the year to date last year, in its final year, they sold just a little bit over 3,009 units. Obviously, in 2024, we had none. So that's a bit of a sad number to see, but it is what it is. For the Soul, the Soul numbers are a bit interesting here. For the month last year in 2023, they sold about a little bit over 6,500 units. Currently, right now in 2024, we're at 5,708 units. That's not bad. Obviously, it is a little bit down. We can also see here the year to date is down. In 2023, they sold 23,574 units. Right now, they're at 18,160. There is still time for them to make up this gap here. But the Soul has been a bit interesting just because the sales numbers recently have been up and down for it. They've been going more so in the downward trend. So this is a bit interesting here. They are still selling a decent amount, but just with the way that it is going, these numbers can change all the time. They might have, this vehicle might, next month might only sell like 10 units. So I do still believe that they'll catch up to that year-to-date sale, but it is a bit interesting as that is one of the bigger discrepancies on this list from a vehicle that isn't necessarily particularly struggling, but also isn't necessarily a segment leader either. For the Niro here, Niro saw some very slim gains, but a gain is a gain. Last year, they sold just under 3,000. They missed the mark by 2,999. This year, in the month of April, we're a little bit over 3,000 at 3,031 units. For the year to date, we have a discrepancy of about just a little bit over 2,000, being they sold 12,826 last year. This year, we are at 10,506. The Niro also is not really a big seller. It's not a big volume seller either. It is still very possible that they can easily catch up to this year-to-date number, but the Niro is just one of those vehicles. It's not a bad vehicle by any means. It's just not a very popular seller for Kia. The Seltos, very, very slim gains as well, but this is very promising right here. Last year, in the month of April, just under 5,500 units, and this year we're already at 5,672 units. And we've also already gone past the last year's year-to-date sale, which was at 19,322. We're already at 20,455. So while these are slim gains here for the month of April, excuse me, for the Sportage, they are consistent gains. They're not just like flatlining or even out. It is a slow but gradual gain. And the fact that we already have beat that year-to-date sale shows that, this is not a vehicle that's fluctuating. This is a steady, solid gain. That's what you want to see in a vehicle. On to the Sportage right here. Once again, the Sportage, just like the Seltos, the month sales were slim gains, but the year-to-date sales for Sportage, man, they are huge. Last year in the month of April 2023, they sold 13,426. This year we're at 13,739, so we're just under 14,000. We're almost there. We're relatively close. But for year-to-date sales, I mean, 2023 they sold just a little bit over 45,000 units. This year in 2024, our year-to-date sales are already over 51,000. That is an amazing gain year over year, and that really helps correlate with the slim, just like the Seltos. It's not a vehicle that fluctuates, but it's a nice, gradual, sustainable gain. That is really good to see. That really strong numbers from the Kia Sportage here. For the Sorento as well, really, really strong gains both month to month and year to date. Last year, they sold just under 7,000 at 965 units. This year, we're already just above 8,600 units, almost at 9,000. Really strong gains there from the month of April last year and this year, almost a 2,000 unit gain. And even for year to date as well, selling just a little bit over 27,000 units last year. This year, we're already at 30,912. We're almost at 31,000 units. We're already right now almost at a 4,000 plus unit difference. So really, really strong results for the Sorento. This one is a little bit higher just because of, it's a 2,000 difference in terms of, the month of April last year and this year. But really, really strong results for the Sorento. And honestly, all three of these last vehicles right here had the strongest results here, honestly. The Telluride, this isn't surprising. These vehicles, I mean, this thing flies off the lot. You don't even need a sales guy for this. You literally go into a Kia dealership, come out with one in like, 20 minutes. For last year, we saw 8,555 in the month of April. This year, we saw 8,949. So close to that 9,000 mark, just a few away. And then for year to date, we currently are down a little bit on year to date right now. But by the time we get May's figures next month, they're going to be well over this, because last year they sold 35,745. We're already at 34,527. There's no problem. No need to worry about the Telluride. Probably, what is it? Right now it's May 6th. Probably within the next week they'll probably pass that number. So I'm not worried about the Telluride. That is still a really, really strong result. A slim gain, but a gain nonetheless. And then the Carnival. This showed really, really promising signs, and especially for minivans and just vans in general. We see a lot of people not going to minivans and going for the, the super large, the 7-8-seater SUVs. The Kia Carnival saw a gain, not only monthly, but we have a year-to-date gain. Last year, just a little bit over 3,000 at 3,029 units. This year in 2024, 3,588 units sold for the month of April. Really, really solid gain. Not like 1,000 units or anything, but good, about what, 471 units. Really good to see that type of gain. Here for the year date, this is also a promising result as well. Last year, they sold 10,160 units. That's for 2023. For 2024, we've already passed it. We're already at 13,126 units. So really, really strong gains for the Kia Carnival, not only for the month of April for 2023 and 2024, but the year-to-date sales were huge on that. And we can see here, Kia's, sales figures right here, they are very much on track and on pace to beat last year's sales figures. We look at the month of April total sales figures versus the month from 2023 to 2024, we do have to keep in mind too, there are some anomalies in here, because essentially Kia got almost 1,000 free vehicles from the Stinger last year, as well as also the Rio last year as well, selling really well. So I mean, if we account for about the 963 there, the 2,792 there, that's about a good almost 3,000 to 4,000 vehicle difference. So accounting for those two vehicles, Kia is actually on par or actually exceeding expectations with the month of April. From last year selling 68,205 units, excluding those two vehicles that are gone. And, you know, right now, having 65,754 units, that's also with the Kia K5 struggling as we're getting to, you know, waiting for the 2025 model year once it hit dealer lots. Kia is in a very good spot. They have had some great gains. They're super consistent, super steady, and even on the year-to-date sales. I mean, you know, last year they were at 252,341 vehicles sold. This year we're at 245,375 vehicles sold. I mean, a 7,000, essentially just a little bit under 7,000 vehicles difference from year to date. These are super strong results for Kia's sales. And the great thing is that, you know, even though the EVs are a low seller, the fact that the numbers are this close with a new EV, with, you know, a model that is, you know, 2 models on the way out. One that we have, that we're just waiting for a 2025 model year, and, you know, the Stinger kind of just being a freebie at this point. This is really strong results for Kia. And this is really strong and really good solid thing, because this was not only for their internal combustion vehicles, but this was for their electrified vehicles as well, including their fully electric vehicles. And especially, like I said, you know, with the EV6 having the upper hand of already being out, the fact that the EV9, which just came out, you know, essentially on sale this year, was very, you know, roughly able to sell just as many units as the EV6 in the month of April, and already year to date, about less than 500 or so away. That is a super promising sign for Kia, especially because, as we said, you know, especially with the news going around with Tesla right now, and just all the automakers, generally with EVs kind of essentially flatlining and just, you know, not showing the demand and growth that you know, OEMs are expecting from consumers. The fact that Kia is one of the, you know, few brands still that is actually having really good sustained growth on their EVs month to month and year over year, that's a really big thing, and Kia should really be happy with that, as they should be, because, you know, they had an all-time best EV sales for April, and, you know, it's their second highest first quarter sales for Kia America ever here. So Kia is raking in the cash. They're doing really good, and this is just a great result overall. You know, it's just what you want to see from Kia. So thanks for watching, everyone. That's our deep dive and our, you know, analysis of Kia's sales figures. Kia's in a great spot. They are rolling in dough. They are absolutely rolling.